Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about the 5 things you need to consider before buying a resale home. Let's get into it. The first thing is structural integrity and the condition of the home. A lot of resale homes, depending on the age of it, will have some structural issues that may need to be repaired. Some of them may not be that bad, but others may be detrimental to the structure of the home. And these are the first things you should look at. It's natural that there's going to be some wear and tear on certain aspects of the home, like paint or some cracks and some trim or other things like that. But if you find some larger issues such as foundation cracks, there's definitely some red flags there that you need to look over. Check for signs of structural wear and tear like cracks in the floor, uneven floor, foundation cracks, window seals, and other noticeable items. Assess the condition of the roof, the plumbing, the electrical, or anything else that you can see visually. Test all the systems, see if they work. Test all the plumbing fixtures, see if all the toilets flush. Check if there's hot water. See if the furnace is working properly. Is there air conditioning? Is there hot air blowing when it needs to? Is there cold air blowing when it needs to? See if all the light switches work. These are just a few of the items that you can visually see and test on your own. However, it's advisable to hire a home inspector. A qualified home inspector will look at every nook and cranny of the home. They'll check for major items such as structural integrity. They'll check for items that are within the building code. So if something is not completed according to the building code in your area, a home inspector will give you a detailed report outlining every single item that needs to be addressed and also items that are done properly. So you'll get a thorough breakdown of the condition of the home. It will also give you a good idea if you need to repair anything further down the road, or if something is going to be a major issue down the road, which you will need to address now. The next thing is legal documentation, clear titles, and permits. With a lot of older homes, you may not be able to locate certain things like permits that were created many years ago. So sometimes it's tough to say whether something was done as per the permit or not, or if it was up to building code or not at the time. Certain building codes change over time, and it's natural that you're not going to have certain things completed that was according to the building code years before. However, it's something that you should really look into to ensure that the home was built as per code during the time of construction. It's also advisable to have a qualified lawyer look at any legal documentation associated with the home. You want to make sure that it has clear titles, meaning that there are no liens on the property, that there are no outstanding taxes that need to be paid, because you're going to have to bear the burden of that if you were to purchase the home and you've realized this after the fact. Make sure your lawyer addresses any of these issues prior to you purchasing the property. And if any of these are not clear, then it's advisable that you speak with the current vendor to see if they can clear them up prior to your purchase. The next thing is location and neighborhood. The location and the neighborhood of your property will significantly impact the value of your property further down the road. Research about the neighborhood's safety, its proximity to any schools or shopping centers. Is it walking distance to public transit? Is there connectivity to major roads that are easily accessible? Also consider future development plans in the area. Will there be an influx of thousands of homes that are going to be built over the next coming years within the vicinity of where you're going to purchase? Will this be a positive thing or a negative thing? How will it affect your living experience throughout the years? And also, what effect will it have on your property's value? Ask your local real estate agent if they can do an assessment of the area just to let you know how things have been doing in that area or what the future plans will be. You don't want to end up purchasing a home in an area that's going to end up being run down or flooded with too many people, because it may bring down the value of your home. Then again, it may increase the value. So due diligence is definitely required when it comes to figuring out which area you'd like to purchase your home in, which leads to the next point, resale value. You want to make sure that if you're purchasing a resale home, that there's some value there for you in the future. If you do slight improvements to the home, will it increase the value? Over time, will it increase the value? Is the area you're purchasing in up and coming? Meaning, are there a lot of new houses that are being built? Are houses being torn down in your area and being rebuilt as new? There are a lot of things to consider when it comes to resale value of your home. You don't want to be at the higher end of the price point when purchasing a property. If the value has already been reached in that area for the next few years, you may want to consider purchasing a different home that has some potential for an increase in value. In certain areas, there are a lot of overbidding for homes. So you want to make sure that if you are one of those people who's going to overpay for a home, you want to make sure that you're not at the top end of the market. Leave yourself some room to increase the value of your property and gain some equity for yourself over time. The last thing is renovation and maintenance costs. Are you purchasing a rundown property that needs a lot of renovation, or are you purchasing a home that just needs some aesthetic work? There's a big difference in cost and time in order to get the value out that you're going to put into it. Make sure you're ready to take on these additional expenses once you purchase the home. This goes back to the first point I mentioned, structural integrity and condition. Are there going to be so many repairs that need to be done that the money you're going to put in is just not worth it? You're going to have to put in hundreds of thousands of dollars over the purchase price, and it's just not going to be worth the value you're going to put in. Now, if you're going to be living in the property for a very long time, then maybe these renovations are fine. You may put an addition to the home. You may renovate the entire home. You may renovate a few rooms of the home. You may just do some aesthetic changes. Whatever it may be, if you're going to stay for the long term, maybe you're not going to be concerned with the additional costs you're going to have to put in. But if you're thinking of just staying there for a couple of years, really consider the additional costs that are going to be needed to bring the property up to the value for that area. Purchasing a resale home could be a great investment with the proper due diligence. Make sure you do your research. Is the structural integrity and condition of the home fine? Are there clear titles and proper building permits? Is the location in a neighborhood something that you would consider living in? How is the resale value and the market trends for the area? How much renovation or maintenance costs will you need to put into the property in order to get the value out? These are just a few of the things you should consider when purchasing a resale home. It's also advisable to hire professionals in order to help you through the process. Hire the proper real estate agents to handle the purchase and sale agreement. Hire qualified lawyers to help you through the transaction process. Hire any building inspectors or other inspectors that you need in order to check out the condition of the home. Make sure your budget includes any additional cost of renovation or maintenance of the property. If you are purchasing a resale home and you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. I'd like to help out in any way I can. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.